Hey folks, welcome to Mystery Log Monday. I found this old log in the log pile over there. I pulled it out. I wasn't sure exactly what it is. I'm still not 100% sure what it is. I want you to comment down below and tell me what you think it is. Maybe you can figure it out before I do. I think I know what this thing is, but I'm not 100% sure. It looks a lot different in the pile than it does now in the sawmill. I think I have a good guess, but if you can look at the grain here and the limbs, maybe you can tell me what it is. I think only experienced sawyers will know what this thing is, if it's what I think it is, but we won't know until I cut into it. So yeah, welcome back to Mystery Log Monday, where your guess is as good as mine, or maybe better. This thing has some pretty big knots on it. I've got to get these cut off, I think. I don't think there's a way to really get it on the mill good without cutting those off. This thing is only about 7.5. It may be close to 8 foot long, but it won't reach the last bunk here. I'll have to use that center bunk. Try to get it situated on here somehow where we can cut it off and square it up a little bit. But yeah, it's a pretty funky shape. It's actually a pretty big log. Right now, I think it's way too big for the sawmill, but I think once we knock these knots off, we'll be able to get some cuts out of it. Yeah, look at that grain real good. See if you can figure this out before I do. I don't think I'll really know 100% until I cut into it, but I think I know what it is. I just didn't know I had one of these, if it's what I think it is. So yeah, leave your best guess in the comments. Let's see if you can figure it out before I do. I'm gonna see if I can knock some of these knots off this thing so I can get it to lay down flat. I got Thomas here helping me today. What's up with these kids and these phones and stuff? Carrying phones around everywhere. At least I'm recording with mine. Well, I didn't get that knot completely off, but look at the grain in there. Very interesting, huh? And looking at this side here, can you tell what it is now? I really still can't. I think I know, but I'm not sure. I think I have enough cut off of it right now to get it moved over to where the saw will get around it, because it was wider than the actual legs of the carriage, but I think now it'll fit between. So I'm gonna try to get it locked down here and take a cut off this top here, and maybe it'll reveal some secrets and tell us what it is. Hope you put those comments in and guess what it was. Well, we got it locked down in there the best way we could anyway. I need to cut that knot off, but it's kind of hanging low right now out of the way. I don't have a clamp on this side, but this thing is pretty darn heavy, and that knot's kind of wedged in there too, so I think this will work fine. As you see here, we're just gonna barely clear that top knot, but we're gonna skim that off first and see if we can't get a flat side on it. Yeah, this thing is about too big for the sawmill, but I think we're gonna make it happen here. Sawmill's all the way up right now, hoping it clears that knot right there and just slices that right off. Yeah, let's get a cut out of this thing. All right, now take a look at this first slice here. Now tell me what you think this is. I think I know already just by looking at some of these colors, especially that right there. One good look at it again. I want you to tell me what you think this log is, because I'm not gonna tell you yet. All right, let's take a better cut off this thing. I'll go ahead and tell you this thing is rock hard.
That's what she said.
Okay, whatever. All right, I think I can get one more cut off this top without running out of room, but we're gonna be running real close right here on this knot. Got the blades wide open. As hard as this thing is, hopefully we won't leave any waves because I got this blade guide all the way out, and this thing is pretty damn wide. All right, look at that. I do believe this is a pecan tree. What do you guys think? And just if you're wondering, we did have some technical difficulties with some cameras yesterday. It's no longer Monday. Now it's Mystery Log Tuesday pretty much. But we'll just still call it Mystery Log Monday because we started it on Monday. I think I'm gonna cut it one more time just because I want to get that top half cut down a little bit more, and then we'll roll this thing over. Do the grain reveal. Yeah, look at that grain. That's nice. Yeah, I know what this thing is. So I'm almost 100% certain this is a pecan tree. If your guess was right in the comments, let me know if you got it right. That is one nice log there. That 10-degree blade didn't like this wide end right here, especially on this hard stuff. Got a little bit of waves in it, but I cut them all that walnut with that same blade. Haven't changed it out yet, so it's definitely got some use on it. We're gonna get this log rolled over and see if we can't make some lumber out of it. All right, we got this thing flipped over. I'm gonna knock this big old knot off here first. It's sitting pretty good and flat right here. Had to flip it with a bobcat because it's way too heavy for the backstops. Look at that nice wood there. A little bit of spalching on this end. We got some colors in here, different little spots. Pecan makes some of the prettiest wood. I think my two favorite woods is walnut and pecan. And I don't know which one I like the best. It really depends on the color of the pecan though, because sometimes it can have a whole lot more figure in the heart of it. And we're not quite into the heart of this one yet, so we're not into all the vibrant colors it has. But I am gonna go change that blade out because the one I got on there, I cut all that walnut with it the other day, and it feels a little dull. So I need to clean those cuts up a little bit before I flip it and start making boards. I gotta get some blades sharpened this week because I'm running really low. All I've got is a few new blades, 10-degree blades. So I need to sharpen all my 7 degrees and 8 degrees. Because 10 degrees work pretty good in hardwood, but the 7 and 8 degrees, they work a lot better. Especially my Cook's super sharp 8 degrees. These 10-degree Cook's blades do work pretty good, but those 8-degree super sharps, you can't beat them, especially in hardwoods. Now I'm gonna take one more thin slice off this just because there is a little bit of waving right here at the knots because that blade was pretty dull. I'm gonna clean this up real quick and then we're gonna flip it up, start getting our boards. Look at the colors in that. We're starting to get into the heart now. Got some nice grain right there in the center. These little knot areas, beautiful. And don't forget, pecan tree is a hickory tree, so they are super hard. They are tough to cut, I'll tell you what. But that's why they make some excellent floors also. And on this side, I went ahead and removed that third backstop and moved it forward because the handle was broke on the other one. We got those set up now, and that log's pretty secure sitting up like that. So now I'll get that top squared off so we can flip it over and start making us some boards. And since the thing's so heavy, I just flipped it with a bobcat instead of a winch. I did break that winch cable the other day trying to flip one. Actually, it was that big black walnut I was trying to roll over. That thing snapped that cable in half, had to redo it. So anyway, we got it flipped over. Let's make our boards. If you're ever cutting these pecan logs, I'll tell you one thing, you gotta be patient because it takes forever to cut. Don't ever try to rush it because that stuff is hard as a rock. It takes a while for that blade to get through that wood. And that is beautiful, look at that. Now we got a little bit wavy on this edge right here, but I did go ahead and change that blade out to the 8 degree. It cuts so much better too. And it's funny because the 8 degree I had in the back of the truck, it was an old one. It was already one that was going up to be sharpened, but I threw it on there anyway and it cuts this stuff way better. Gotta love this stuff. And that right there is why I say it's a hard choice between pecan and walnut. I love them both, but I don't think walnut has as much character as this pecan does. Every time I cut one of these pecan trees, they never disappoint. You tell me your thoughts. What would you do with this stuff? Floors, window trim? I'm gonna go ahead and flip it up and we're gonna start cutting it on 8.5 inch wide side. And when it's dry, I'll get some 3/4 by 4 inch boards out of it for trim. Just look at this stuff right here. Look at that feathering in there. It's got some beautiful feathering around this bark inclusion here. Look at that, man, this stuff is nice. Beautiful. That truly is some amazing wood. Let's finish this stuff up. All right, so here's our bounty here. Man, that's some beautiful wood. Beautiful stuff. We got a big old stack there. All that's gonna go in the greenhouse with that black walnut. And every bit of that's gonna get dried out. And I don't have that pecan for sale. That's something that's gonna be my personal use wood. Like I said, we're redoing this house and doing a lot of upgrades and different things we gotta do to it. So floors is one of them and trim is another. And I think that pecan is gonna be perfect for that kind of stuff. I know it's gonna take some time to dry in the solar kiln, the AKA greenhouse, but I think it'll all be worth it in the end. So yeah, that was our mystery log Monday. And like I said, we run into Tuesday, but hey, same thing. That mystery log turned into a beautiful pecan tree. I honestly didn't know what that thing was when it was in the pile over there. It'd been there for a long time, and I don't know how I missed it. I didn't even know I had another piece of pecan. I think the last one I had, I slabbed up for a customer. And I think we had one on the carbide blade test. It was a hickory or a pecan. I really think it was a pecan though. And you know what? I'm getting old, I guess. I'm getting a little senile because I got to thinking about that tree today. I remember cutting it up. I remember cutting that tree up with a carbide blade. I can't think for the life of me where I put those boards. It's not here, not in any of this stuff. I've got the oaks, I've got some of the other stuff, but I have no clue what I did with that wood. But I do need to find it. I need to get it stacked up and going into the kiln with the rest of that wood so it all can dry. And I'll be sharing some of those projects here coming up soon. But here's one more look at our pecan log for today, our mystery log. It turned into a pecan log. It is some beautiful wood. I would do a grain reveal on this with the water, but I'm out of water. But man, it's some beautiful wood. But that was our mystery log Monday, which turned into Tuesday, and it'll be uploaded for Wednesday. So either way, it's still a mystery log Monday. But we appreciate everyone joining and watching our mystery log Monday. Hope to see you next Monday on our mystery log Monday, where we're going to find a log. We have no clue what it is. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check out our patrons, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. We'll see you on the next one.